Hello children, in this video we are going to see about thunderstorms and cyclone. So last video we have seen about generation of wind is caused due to the uneven heating of land and water between the equator and the poles, isn't it? So today we are going to see about thunderstorm and cyclones. First, about thunderstorm. So thunderstorm is developed in the hot humid tropical areas like India. Okay, so thunderstorm normally it occurs in the tropical areas like India. So what will happen here? Earth's surface gets heated up due to the sun. So same like generation of wind, we know the low pressure will cause the wind speed. As greater the difference in air pressure, greater is the wind speed. As so here also first the earth's surface gets heated up due to the sun, and because of the heat of the earth's surface, the air from above the land rises, which will create a low pressure area, so that water vapor rises and condenses to form tiny drops of water, which freezes to form ice at higher altitude. So this is the process which taken during the thunderstorm. Okay, so first what will happen? Here the air from above the land rises, which will create a low pressure area, and this water vapor condenses to form tiny drops of air, which freezes to form ice at higher altitude. So this is similar to the rain formation. So the droplets of water and ice particles will fall towards the earth, which strikes with the rising air. So after condensation of the drops of water, it will falls in the form of rain, which strikes the earth with the rising air. So this build up an electric discharge, which is released as lightning. So you have noticed lightning during rain. Yes, this is because when the droplets of water it falls towards the earth, which strikes with the rising air, which will create an electric discharge, which is released as an lightning. So the lightning heats the surrounding air, and the air expands very fast, producing loud sound called thunder. Okay, so the lightning heats the surrounding air. The surrounding air will get heated by the lightning, and due to the heat, what will happen? The air expand, which will produce the loud sound called thunder. Okay, so all these events which occurring together lead to thunderstorm. So there will be a sound of thunder as well as storms. So storm means heavy wind with the rainfall. Okay, so the lightning heats the surrounding air, and due to the heating, the air expand, which will produce the loud sound called thunder. All these events occurring together, which lead to thunderstorm. Now we can see what are the effects of thunderstorm. When thunderstorm occurs, what will be happening in the earth? So thunderstorm can uproot electric poles. You know electric poles, yes, we can see in our streets. Yes. So when thunderstorm occurs, it will uproot the electric poles from the place where it's fixed, and blow away light structures like thatched roofs. So it will cause the thatched roof to blow away due to the heavy wind, and heavy rains will occur along with the thunderstorm, which will cause floods and water logging in some areas, and people may die if lightning strikes them. So if lightning strikes any people, there is a possibility for the death of the peoples. Okay, so these are certain effects of thunderstorm. So thunderstorm can uproot electric poles, it can blow away light structures like thatched roof, and heavy rain will occur. Due to that, it will cause flood and water lacking, and people may die if lightning strikes them. Now, what are the precautions we can take during thunderstorm? So, when a thunderstorm strikes, it is best to stay indoors. So, when there is a thunderstorm, we have to stay inside the home with all doors and windows shut. So, we should close all doors and windows in the home, and we have to stay inside the home. It is not safe to take shelter under an isolated tree or use an umbrella with a metallic rod. So, we should not take shelter under any tree, or we should not use umbrella with a metallic rod. And not only that, we should avoid contact with water and metallic objects. And it is safe to take shelter in a bus or car, because if lightning strikes, their metal body can conduct lightning to the earth without harming us. Okay, so we can take shelter in a bus or a car because their metallic body will conduct lightning to the earth without harming our body. Now we can see about cyclones. So what is meant by cyclones? Huge revolving storm over the ocean. So it occurs in the ocean due to very high speed wind around a central area which is having low pressure. Okay, so it occurs in the ocean, in the central area of the ocean where the low pressure region occurs. Okay, so this is caused due to very high speed wind which occurs in the central area having low pressure. Now, the central area where the low pressure we can observe, that is called as the eye of the cyclone. Okay, the central area of the low pressure is called the eye of the cyclones. So it can be hundreds of kilometers wide. So the eye of the cyclone will be about 100 kilometers width. And now how the cyclone will be formed. First, the water from the sea that evaporates before cloud formation. So the water from the sea that evaporates before cloud formation take up heat from the atmosphere to change into water vapor. Understood, children? So water which evaporate before cloud formation will take heat from the atmosphere and change into water vapor. Okay, so this water vapor gives back this heat to the atmosphere when it changes back to liquid form as drops of rain. So when this water vapor changes into liquid, that is as drops of rain, it will again give back the heat which it absorbed from the atmosphere. Okay, so first the water from the sea, it will evaporate and take up the heat from the atmosphere and converted into water vapor. Okay, and again this water vapor, when it changes into liquid, it gives back the particular amount of heat to the atmosphere. This heat released to the atmosphere warms surrounding air. So the heat which is released by the water vapor to the atmosphere, it will warms or it will heat the surrounding air. This warm air rises up causes drops in the pressure leading to the low pressure region. Okay, so how the formation of low pressure region occurs? When the water evaporate from the sea, it will receive the heat from the atmosphere and convert it to water vapor. Again, the water vapor will release the heat to the atmosphere, which warms the surrounding air. And this warm air rises up, which will cause a drop in the pressure, leading to the formation of low pressure region. So, more air rushes towards the center of the storm. Okay, so this time when there is a low pressure region, more air will rushes towards the center of the storm. And this process will be continued, and which result in the formation of low pressure system with a very high speed wind revolving around it, and this weather condition is called a cyclone. Okay, so cyclone means formation of low pressure system with a high speed wind revolving around it. The weather condition is called as cyclone. The center area of the low pressure is called the eye of the cyclone. As I have already told, the central area where the low pressure region occurs is called as the eye of the cyclone. The center area of the low pressure region is called the eye of the cyclone. Now, the area around the eye of the cyclone will be thick clouds with heavy rain and wind. Okay, so the area around the eye, it will be having thick clouds with heavy rain and wind with a speed of 150 to 200 km per hour. So cyclone have different names in the different areas of the world. So cyclone can be named in different way in different areas of the world. So in American continent it is called as hurricane, and Japan, Philippines it is called as typhoon, and Indian Ocean, Bay of Bengal it is called as cyclones. Okay, so American continent it is called as hurricane, and Japan, Philippines country it will be called as typhoon, and Indian Ocean, Bay of Bengal we are calling it as cyclones. So cyclones means with heavy rain and wind with the speed of 150 to 200 km per hour. Now, during cyclones, certain safety measures we have to follow. So, what are the safety measures against cyclones? So, warning will be issued by the meteorological department through TV and radio. We have to taken seriously. It should be taken seriously. So, warning which is issued by the meteorological department through TV and radio should be taken seriously, and people who are living near to the sea coast should move to safer places once a cyclone warning is issued. So once a cyclone warning is announced, people who are living near to the coastal areas they have to move to the safer places. Then emergency phone numbers like hospital, fire brigade and police station, it should be kept handy. It should be in our hand. So with the help of satellite and radar, cyclone alert will be issued 48 hours in advance of any expected storm, and cyclone warning is issued 24 hours in advance. So there is enough time to take safety measures. So as the cyclone alert and cyclone warning is issued before 48 hours of the cyclone occurrence, there is enough time to take safety measures. Now we can see precautions which has to be taken in cyclone hit area. First thing is, do not drink contaminated water. So purify drinking water by boiling it before consumption. because it contains lot of impurities and germs which can cause harmful disease. So we have to drink pure water. Do not drink contaminated water, because the contaminated water contain many germs which will cause harmful disease. So before drinking water, we have to purify by boiling it. Then do not touch electric switches and wires. When there is a cyclone hit, we should not touch electric switches and wires. Then do not walk in flooded water. So we should not walk in flooded water, as it may have snakes or harmful insects. Then we should cooperate with rescue forces. So rescue force means the group of people who will be saving the people who are in distress. Cooperate with the rescue forces and do not make undue demands during cyclone hit, and do not spread rumors, and avoid driving on roads that have standing water. So we should not drive during cyclone hit. We have to avoid driving on roads which is having standing water, as they could have been damaged due to floods. So these are some of the precautions we have to take during cyclone hit. Now next one is tornado. So what is meant by tornado? You can see in the picture, it is the dark funnel shaped cloud which will reaches the ground from the sky. Okay, so tornado means it is the dark funnel shaped cloud which reaches the ground from the sky. So how it is formed? It is formed when a column of cold air sinks down from the dark rain cloud. So when a column, that means when a column of cold air, it sinks down from the sky to the from the dark rain cloud. Okay, so it is the dark funnel shaped cloud which reaches the ground from the sky. So it is formed when column of cold air sinks down from the dark rain cloud. And due to this, warm air from the surface of earth rises up. It will whirls around the column of cold air with a high speed wind. Now these tornadoes are mostly weak and they travel at a speed of about 300 km per hour. So they are weak and travel with a speed of about 300 km per hour. And east and west coastal line of India is vulnerable to cyclones. So mostly cyclones will occur in the east and west coastal line, and in this east coast being the prominent one. That means most of the time east coast of the coastal line of the India will be affected by the cyclones. Then now we can see the precautions we have to take during tornado. So when there is a tornado, we have to take shelter in an underground room with no windows or in a deep ditch. What we have to do? We have to take shelter in an underground room with no windows or in a deep ditch. So if an underground room is not available, then it is safe to sit under a table or to bow down on your knees, protecting head and neck with the help of arms. Okay, so if underground room is not available, it is safe to sit under a table, or we can bow down your knees, protecting head and neck with the help of arms. So these are certain precautions which has to be taken during tornado. It's all about the cyclone, thunderstorms and tornado. If we have any doubt, you can ask children. Thank you.